In today's video, I'm going to show you how to adjust the vertical tracking force on your turntable. Now what the vertical tracking force is, it's the amount of force that your stylus is applying to the record. And the reason that's important is because if you have too little force, the record's not going to sound right, and it is going to be very easy to skip. And if it's set too high, you're going to be applying too much force to your record, which is going to prematurely wear out the record. It's also not going to sound correct, and it's going to prematurely wear out your stylus. So this video will show you how to set that. Now I'm going to be showing two methods. One method will be a manual method just by balancing the tone arm. Another method is going to be to use a scale. This scale is designed to specifically measure the vertical tracking force of your tone arm and your stylus. So let's go ahead and get started with the manual mode first. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make sure the record player is off. Make sure there's no record on the platter. And we're going to move the tone arm over above the record. But we're going to make sure we back the counterweight out enough first so that the tone arm doesn't drop. So you want the tone arm to be tilting up. So you can see it's not going to fall down onto the platter. The other thing that we're going to want to make sure is that if we have a cueing lever, we want to have the cueing lever down so that nothing is preventing this from dropping once we start making our adjustments. So let's go ahead and start making an adjustment. Now we're going to ignore the numbers on the dial for now. So those mean nothing at the moment. We're just going to be adjusting the weight. So the big part of this, not the little part. So what we're going to want to do is dial it down a little bit. See if it starts dropping, and it didn't start dropping yet. So let's screw it back in a little bit. Okay, so it's starting to drop here. So if I let it go, it'll drop all the way to the platter. That's too much. So what we're going to want to do is lift this back up, back that off a little bit, because what we're trying to achieve is some equilibrium in your tone arm. We want the tone arm to be balancing and floating mid-air. Basically, in a horizontal position, and we're still a little bit too much counterweight. So we're going to back that off a little bit more, and now you can see that it's balancing. So right here you can see that it's balancing, because if I just bump this up a little bit, you can see it's just kind of floating. If I bump it up a little bit, it'll come back down. You can just see that it's just floating there. It's not going to drop down to the platter, and it's not going to stay up. It's just going to kind of float in between. Okay, so now that it's floating, we need to spin the small wheel on this counterweight. But we're not going to do that with this just floating here, because it's a very sensitive system. And if we start messing with this, we run the potential of this bouncing up and down and getting damaged. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to place this back in its rest and lock it down. Then we're going to rotate this dial. Let me see if I can get in a position where you can see it. We're going to rotate the little dial, not the weight in the back, just the dial up front here. We're going to dial that in until, let's see if we can see it here with the lighting. We're going to dial it until the dial is at 0, lined up with this white line. So we're going to line up the 0 exactly with the white line there. Let's see if we can. I'm having a hard time seeing the numbers on there, but you can see right there that the 0 is lined up on the white line. Because what the 0 means is that this thing is floating in equilibrium. Okay? Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and turn the big wheel, and as you can see, that dial moves along with it. And we want to get to approximately 2, because what that is going to be is 2 grams of vertical tracking force. And that's what's recommended for my stylus. I have an Audio-Technica stylus. It's the green one here. I forget the model. I think it's like a 95 something. And it's a pretty good entry-level stylus. It's not the most inexpensive one. It's around $50 or so. But it's one that I highly recommend for the money. In any case, this is the tracking force recommended for this stylus. Now, other styluses, styli, whatever you want to call them, might recommend a different tracking force. It could be higher or lower. More than likely, it would be a little higher. So, in any case, you would follow the same procedure for that using the specified force for your stylus. So, once this is done, you then want to go in, and if your turntable has the adjustment, you're going to want to adjust the anti-skate to the same number that you have on the counterweight. So in this case, the counterweight is set to 2, so your anti-skate should be set to 2. So now let's go ahead and test this with our little scale that we have. Let's see how close this manual method gets. So in order to do this, I'm going to unlock my little lock here for the control arm, or for the tone arm. I'm going to raise the cueing lever back up. I'm going to move this over my platter. I'm then going to move the little weight, let's see if I can get focus here, into position right underneath that stylus. I'm going to turn the scale on, and you can see it's at 0. And then I'm going to just slowly drop the cueing lever down onto the scale, and let's see what our reading is. So that's reading 2.22. So you can see this manual method is not exactly perfect. I mean, it is, I'm a little heavy on this, but it did a pretty good job. I mean, we're, what, 10% over? Which I don't think this is going to do any major damage to any of your records. I don't think it's anything to be concerned with. But since I have this scale, and these scales are inexpensive, I picked this up on Amazon. I'll have a link down below if you want to check it out, get one for yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment now to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my cueing lever, and I'm just going to dial this back just, oops, let me get you in frame here. I'm going to dial it back just a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop this back down onto the scale and see what we get. Okay, I didn't back it off nearly enough. So let's raise the cueing lever. Let's back this off a little bit more. I backed it off. Now we're at, I don't know, maybe it looks like about 1.9. So let's go ahead and see what that gets us on our scale. That's 2.08. So it really looks like if I get this back to about 1.8, we should probably be pretty close. So that makes me think I was off a little bit on my zeroing, because now we're just a bit under 1.97. So it really does not have to be exactly 2. You will go crazy trying to get it there. But I would say if you can get it within 5 to 10% of that, you should be doing just fine. So I hope this helped you understand how to adjust your counterbalance, which again is a very important step in the process of setting up your turntable. Very important for preserving your vinyl and for it to sound the best. So thanks again for watching. I'll try to do some more videos with some more turntable tips in the future, and we'll see you next time.